Top 5 podcasts to listen to. These are the 5 best podcasts to listen to in 2022. There's a podcast for almost everything these days. In a world where there are hundreds of thousands of them, deciding what to listen to next can be difficult, and finding the best of the bunch can seem nearly impossible. You could ask friends for recommendations, but that method will likely be hit or miss. Yes, we understand that with so many podcasts available, it can be difficult to find the best one for you. But you know what won't be hit or miss? I'm listening to one of these incredible new podcasts. Some of these podcasts were released in 2021 and are an excellent way to begin 2022. Some, like the Dropout, are simply more relevant this year, in case you haven't already heard. Some, like The Daily, are perennial favorites that deliver year after year. This year, we've compiled a list of the best podcasts to listen to. We have something for everyone, whether you like politics, sports, true crime, fiction, or something else. Before we get started, if this is your first time here, please subscribe and hit that like button so you won't miss any future videos. Number 1, Rabbit Hole. Rabbit Hole is an easily bingeable look at how the internet affects our lives and politics every day, and how we got here. The New York Times 8-part series is haunting at times, but the story it's telling about how we interact with the internet is profound and difficult to forget. It is well worth your time. Number 2, Slow Burn. Slow Burn, from Slate, tackles a new topic each season, such as Watergate, the rise of David Duke, and even the tense feud between Tupac and Notorious Big in the 1990s. Its most recent season focuses on abortion rights in America prior to Roe v. Wade. Slow Burn's ability to present a comprehensive narrative while also incorporating compelling personal histories is completely addictive. Number 3, The Right Time. The Right Time is today's smartest sports podcast. No other sports journalist covers every aspect of athletics like Bomani Jones. ESPN has taken notice as well, increasing the drops from twice a week to 3 times this year. More Bomani Jones can be listened to at any time. Number 4, The Daily. Do you want to listen to a podcast that delves into the most recent and relevant news stories? Then check out The Daily, the world's second most popular podcast after the Joe Rogan Experience. Consider The Daily to be the New York Times in podcast form. Each episode lasts between 25 and 45 minutes. It features interviews with New York Times journalists who covered the day's top stories, hosted by Michael Barbaro. The great music and relevant audio clips played during the podcast add to the production value and storytelling. The podcast, which debuted in 2017, focuses on domestic and international politics, as well as major news events. It had 2 million downloads per episode by 2020. Number 5, The Joe Rogan Experience. This is by far my favorite podcast personally. Joe Rogan launched the Joe Rogan Experience podcast in 2009, which quickly became one of the world's most popular podcasts. While the podcast is primarily listened to by men, anyone interested in 3-hour-long discussions on politics, UFOs, stand-up comedy, history, psychology, psychedelics, and any other topic under the sun should give it a listen. Joe Rogan is a controversial figure. He's made headlines for all the wrong reasons, most notably for hosting guests who spread COVID misinformation. Joe is a little too open-minded, which leads him to occasionally host conspiracy theorists like Alex Jones. Joe Rogan, on the other hand, has hosted reputable scientists such as Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, Professor Brian Cox, Steven Pinker, and Sir Roger Penrose. It just goes to show that Joe will listen to anyone who has something interesting to say. Each episode of the podcast receives approximately 11 million listeners. There you have our top 5 podcasts to listen to. These were only our opinion and personal choices. Thanks for watching and don't forget to like, share and subscribe today.